We welcome you to this broadcast of men's basketball on NKTelco Sports. We're at the Ohio Northern University Sports Center where Otterbein will take on Ohio Northern. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapeno's Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Gifts, and NKTelco. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Helmstetter with Michael Hearn. Ohio Athletic Conference basketball, Otterbein and Ohio Northern. Otterbein comes in here 9-2, 6 games in a row. They have been victorious in second place in a tie with Marietta, John Carroll, and Mount Union. This is an important game for Otterbein as they look to the coming weeks.
Yeah, and it also helps when you have the league's leading scorer coming in at almost 22 points a game. Cam Evers coming off 24 and 10 in the Smokey Bollinger Classic. And you've got the OAC's reigning player of the week in Dallas Patrick, a double-double machine on the season. Northern needs this game early on in the year. The teams will play again in February, but this is a massively important game for Ohio Northern. If they can get a win here, they can kind of put themselves in a better position in the OAC.
Ohio Northern comes in at 5-6, successful in a holiday tournament, winning both of those contests. So Coach Neil Young is trying to build momentum as we enter this new year.
Yeah, they got a big win. Landon Long, career-high tying 25 points and 6 threes in that game. C.J. Napier, now the 40th different member of their 1,000-point club. Two guys that you'll key on if you're Northern to try to get yourself a win here tonight.
And we're just moments away from the start of tonight's contest. Our officials this evening: Clay Ehrman, Scott Seville, Chris Nelson are the officials for tonight's contest as the two teams are ready for the national anthem here on NKTelco.
Whatever Cards and Games in Ada is your locally owned, family-friendly business for all your gaming needs. We carry a wide range of collectible card games, board games, family games, role-playing games, educational games for all ages, and more. Stop in today for your much-needed expansion packs and war miniatures. We are an official tournament store for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and Cardfight Vanguard. Expect an enjoyable time at Whatever Cards and Games, where there's fun for everyone.
Four Seasons Drive-Thru, we have the coolest beverages in town and specials to satisfy all appetites.
Check out our Facebook page for all the details and times of Brownie's Pies. Get this great pizza by the slice or take home a whole pie. And don't forget his spectacular subs.
At Four Seasons Drive-Thru, we have all the supplies you need for game day celebrations.
Four Seasons Drive-Thru, 205 North Main Street in Ada. Great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
Go Bears!
Back here at the Ohio Northern University Sports Center, introduction of our starting lineups about to take place. Ohio Northern 5-6, 1-3 in league play. Otterbein 9-2 and 3-1, as we noted before. The Heidelberg leads the Ohio Athletic Conference at 4-0. Marietta, John Carroll, Mount Union, and Otterbein all at 3-1, just a step behind the Heidelberg. Now, starting lineup coming up here in just a moment. First for the visiting Otterbein Cardinals under head coach Andy Winters.
It's kind of a different thing, too. His assistant, I assume it's his brother, and Matt Winters just got married a couple of days ago. He and his wife, now his wife, Emily Jo, got married on New Year's Eve.
That's quite an event.
That's what I thought.
Quite a historic event. And it
was like 50 that night.
50. Gee, what was it the other day? There's MJ Davis, a sophomore. Number 5, a junior, Cam Evans. You'll hear his name a lot tonight. Number 11, a sophomore. Alex Hanna. And number 13, a freshman out of Reynoldsburg, Julian Heckman. And number 33, as Michael alluded to, a senior, Dallas Patrick at 6'2" out of Gahanna. Dallas Patrick. So it's Davis, Evans, Hannah, Heckman, and Patrick for the Otterbein Cardinals. Boy, and they have some nice balanced scoring, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment as we introduce the Ohio Northern Polar Bears of head coach Neil Young. Starters for Ohio Northern. A freshman out of Otterville, a freshman, Will Miller, 6'2".
His entire family's right behind us.
Number 3, a sophomore, Ethan Bell. Number 5, Landon Long out of Mason. And number 15, a senior, Michael Berner out of Springboro, 6'8", big man. And number 22, a 6'6" senior out of Bishop Fenwick High School, C.J. Napier. So it's Miller, Bell, Long, Berner, and Napier in the starting lineup for Ohio Northern. Let's take a look at our keys to the game tonight. All brought to you by John and Tony's Restaurant. First for the Otterbein Cardinals, the keys, Michael.
I look at what Otterbein can do here on the Keel Pizza keys of the games. You got play hard, play smart, play together. That's pretty much standard operating procedure, I think. I look at Northerns are pretty detailed. I mean, you look at number 1. This is, I think you can put this under every wing. Make Cam Evans earn everything. He had 15 and 17 in the games last year. He's the leading scorer in the conference at 21-2. Attack, pressure under control, and to make yourself extra possessions.
And our keys to the game, all brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Ohio Northern will win the tip. Polar Bears with the basketball. They come into tonight's game 5 and 6 overall. Big game as we move into the new year for Ohio Northern. Running right-handed jump shot is good, and Landon Long has the Polar Bears on the scoreboard first.
It's not good for other teams. He's really come on in the last handful of games and has had a handful of double-digit point games. And if he gets going, he's a great compliment to C.J. Napier.
Heckman into the lane, gets it back out to Davis. Davis shot too strong. Rebound comes down to Patrick. Cam Evans gets it into Patrick. Patrick wants to go inside. Turnaround jump shot, it's good.
It's a good-looking shot for Dallas Patrick. 12 a game for him as he ties it at 2. 1,000-point scorer, number 22 in Otterbein history, and he's also the leading scorer in the history of his high school.
Inside, that's Scott, and he'll score.
It's good in possessions for ONU. Talking about not making mistakes, they score their first 2 shots.
And that's a turnover, so basketball will come back to Ohio Northern. So the early going here.
See, this is where it's fascinating, too, because with Northern up 4-2, they want to start fast. They did it against Capital, gave up some points kind of towards the end of that, but it's an Otterbein team at almost 73 points a game. They'll give you your shots. Northern at 70. You expect that at some point there'll be a segment of a track meet.
Miller goes to the baseline, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Miller.
It's an aggressive move on to Will Miller's part. Coming in as a freshman, he's already got a career-high 20. That happened against Capital. I challenged him again to get 30 tonight. He said, I'm working on it. But just a little too aggressive and trying to get to the baseline.
Heckman will get the ball to Davis. Davis brings it back out front. Hannah has it. Now Evans. Ooh. Evans into the lane. Off the glass, no good. Skying high is Adam Scott with a rebound.
Didn't you invent that crossover back in the day? I believe you did.
Scott's going to lob it inside to Napier. Ball's going to be tipped away. Turnover. Polar Bears up court quickly.
So 2 baskets and 2 turnovers for Northern. Good looking shot from the wing.
Patrick no good. Napier will grab it. And here comes Ohio Northern. 17:35 to go. Miller with the basketball. They'll move it around the arc. Napier trying to get position inside on Davis. Double team. Gets it back out. Long range shot no good by Long. Ball bounces off to Heckman. Heckman to the left side. Looks back to his right. Into the lane goes Patrick, and a whistle will stop play with 17:08 to go. Foul will go against Landon Long.
So get Dallas Patrick, the OAC's freshman of the year, a couple of years ago in the first year for Andy Winters, an All-American point guard, as he's standing right in front of us. Had that year where he was the interim head coach when Damon Goodwin had to step away at Capital, and he's only 31 years old.
Otterbein with the basketball. Out front, top of the key. Long range jumper rims in and out by Heckman.
He liked it.
Polar Bears work the perimeter. Scott goes inside. Napier takes the shot. Bounces back to Miller. He'll take the shot, and he'll make it. Three-pointer by Will Miller.
You know, it feels like it's been a while. That's his 9th triple of the year. But it feels like it's been a while since Northern scored, but they control the scoreboard. They're up 5.
Inside it goes. Turnaround jumper is good as Cam Evans.
He's going to get his. It's just a matter of what that looks like. You don't want to let him get 30. He's got a 13 per game last year. He's the 6th man, but he's developed into the conference's best scorer now.
21.2 points per game. Long range bomb. Landon Long. He's fired up, and so are the Polar Bears. 9-4 lead here as we come up on the 15-minute mark.
That's his 19th 3 of the year.
Inside, open is Patrick. He'll put it off the glass.
Miller's late on that play, and he closed to try to come across the door. He's lucky they didn't hit him with a second foul.
Napier with it over to Scott. Scott ready to make the move. Gets it back out front. Jeffries, ball is lost. Up court quickly. Heckman. Inside, off the glass. Julian Heckman.
You practice that move in your driveway?
No, I don't. I wish I could.
I was just going to say, could you pull off Adam Scott's shoes? With a little purple, and he's got the Easter color.
I'll tell you what, the assist down there was beautiful, too. Rebound by Hannah. Heckman.
Northern's kind of closing. They're getting beat on first steps, and they're having to try to take 2 or 3 steps to get themselves back in a position.
Heckman will connect. Three-pointer for Julian Heckman.
First lead now for Otterbein.
Miller with the basketball, trying to work on Evans. Pull-up jumper, and Will Miller. Nice shot, wasn't it, Michael?
He's got his brother Joe sitting in the crowd behind us. I guarantee those two guys have practiced that in his gym before. His brother played here a couple of years ago. That's what he was trying to do earlier, too. When that one that he got called for an offensive foul, it's the exact same move.
Heckman's shot is short.
I will, betting's legal in Ohio now. I will bet you that Will Miller ends up as a 1,000-point scorer by the time he's done.
Napier with a beautiful move on the rebound shot. Reverse layup. And it's 13-11, 2-point Ohio Northern lead.
They've gotten out of that forcing things and just kind of taking what Otterbein has given them now.
Good Patrick, he'll feed it.
Oh,
shot doesn't go.
Cam Evans, point blank.
That's a bunny. Napier, back over to Scott.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but in the bottom right corner of our screen, just off of where the camera's at, the Otterbein bench is vocal, and they're all going to need a nap at halftime because there are about 6 of them up at any given time on the defensive side calling out switches. Great block with the left by Napier.
Up court, here come the Polar Bears. Scott's going inside, up and in. with the score.
Just like he's running the floor at Wapak again.
Got a full timeout, 13:01 to play. First half of action, Ohio Northern 15, Otterbein 11. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Nareda Lanes in Ada offers men's league bowls on Mondays and Wednesday evenings, women's league bowls on Thursday evenings, couples bowls on Friday evenings, kids bowl on Saturday mornings from December through March, Scotch mixed double bowls on the last Saturday of every month, open bowling on Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon reserve the bowling alley for children's birthday parties, and on Sunday, lanes are available to reserve for birthdays of any age as well as for group events. Check out NaredaLanes.com for more info.
.01 to go here in the first half. You see the break by Scott and the score.
You know,
beautiful play.
It doesn't look fancy, but that play started. CJ Napier was 1-on-2 on the backside of that, blocks the ball with the left, fires ahead to Adam Scott, and he outraces the field with that nice little leg kick that he had there at the end too.
That puts Ohio Northern up by 4 at 15-11, and Scott will go to the line to try and complete the three-point play.
And you can get a look at his shoes there too now. He's got a
very
little
clear view of that.
Pastel.
That is very creative.
I'm not even remotely cool enough to pull those off. My wife tells me that.
There's the free throw. Scott will knock it home.
A little swag on the way.
22 out of 29 from the line for Scott.
It's pretty
Bryson
good.
Lane into the lineup, as is number 3, Jared Krieger. A couple of subs.
Troy Scouten for Otterbein. Bryson Lane and Troy Scouten on that switch.
Turnaround jump shot is Patrick.
6 in the game for him. He tied it at 2 back in the day. And, you know, his dad's name is Thad. He played at Tiffin University, and he actually ended up playing, he and his dad rather played at Columbus Brookhaven with Nick Ward's dad, who's at Michigan State. They were both pretty good players in the day.
Ethan Bell into the lineup. Miller's shot from the corner, no good. The ball tipped high into the air, brought down by Krieger up court, and the little pushing and shoving, and it's going to be a technical.
I think it's going to be on Adam Scott. Something happened there during that fast break. I would have to guess that maybe Cam Evans said something to Adam Scott. And it's always the second guy who gets caught. You can see the replay.
Let's see what happens here.
Something right around here. I didn't see it live. All I can think of is that kind of when the two collided and went to the floor, something got said. Scott did really not like the reaction to the whole thing.
Evans at the line. He'll connect.
29 points against Capital. His second team All-Ohio pick in high school.
It's amazing when you think about this is his 83rd free throw of the season. And he's shooting, 67 out of 83.
Yeah.
Improve upon that.
You look at him, he played at St. Trace High School. He's the all-time leading scorer there, almost 1,700 points. He was cut from his elementary team in 4th grade.
That's almost hard to believe, isn't it?
I read a story. His mom said, you know, you can do one of two things here. You can quit, or you can quit crying to me, get better, and prove them wrong. He took the Michael Jordan approach.
Napier off the glass. Foul before.
2 guys got him. Apparently there's not an NBA continuation there tonight.
Inbounds pass coming up for Bell. 17-16, Otterbein with the 1-point lead. Bell will toss it back into Miller.
Miller with that little extra oomph on the leg kick to make sure nobody was getting into him.
Vernon Raines into the lineup for Otterbein.
Carson Conley for ONU.
Outside, Bell, shot no good. Rebound bounces off to Bryson Lane. Patrick. Into the lane he goes. Kicks it back out. Up, off the glass, no good by Lane. And
I think they're going to get Bell for the hack on the backside of that play. He got just enough of it, looked like an arm or a wrist. Here's the replay. You'll get to see. Now watch as he comes through the lane. You'll see number 3 right there. I guess he got the arm somewhere up around the elbow.
So at the free throw line will be Bryson Lane, a senior.
Bryson Lane originally started at Ohio Wesleyan University before he transferred. He was a point guard a couple of years ago during the COVID year when Otterbein only played 9 games. He was the only guy who played all 9 games.
Lane connects, and Otterbein has the early lead at 19-16. Napier with it. Back over to Bell. Bell inside to Burner. Bell will get the handoff.
It's like a nice step through the lane, too.
Yeah. Back out front it comes. Handling it now is Long. Napier working hard off the glass. CJ Napier.
Little baby hook shot. Kind of a smart move, too, because just kind of the apex of where that ball is, he holds it high enough to keep it away from the defender and off the glass for 2.
Napier with the basket.
Mason Studer set to come in for Northern.
Inside, off the glass, shot no good by Scowden.
Good defense by Burner.
Conley gets it inside to Napier, and we've got a whistle.
Should be a tie-up, right? Napier sort of went up. He tried to shield the basketball as Studer and Heath Jeffries enter for ONU. And you can see here, I think he's thinking this is more of the foul variety. With the pass in, it kind of got stuck. But I thought live from, it's a different angle, the hand was on the ball.
I think that's the way the official saw it, obviously.
Ends up costing.
Ball, and
Neil Young just got a warning. Oh, Neil's going to get one. That official immediately turned and stared him down when he started clapping. He's a fiery guy.
So the warning on Neil Young for Ohio Northern. Clock coming up on 10 minutes to go. 1-point lead for Otterbein. They have the basketball.
Oh, good switch.
Inside it goes. Scowden, shot block, comes back out, and it's going to go out of bounds. Off of MJ Davis.
He just sort of turned and he said, I ran out of real estate. He shoved me over there. What do you want me to do?
Anthony Holmes will come into the game for Otterbein.
You know, MJ Davis might steal our job one day. He's a communications major at Otterbein. See, I can explain that to you and tell you exactly what happened.
Now you got me laughing. Sorry.
Right.
Out front.
Got to do something after college.
Inside.
Otterbeins doing a good job, much better than they did during the first 5 minutes when Northern made that run of shutting things
There's
down.
The feed. Power shot by Jeffries, no good. Raines gets it to the corner. Inside it goes. Holmes back out to Davis. Lane open out front, and there's the 3 by MJ Davis.
That's his 7th of the year.
Davis, not much of a score, 3.2. Shot no good by Studer, Mason Studer into the lineup for Ohio Northern. Cam Evans will re-enter for Otterbein.
Foul be on Julian Heckman. There you see the small army of Otterbein Cardinals over there. Would it be a nest? Because there's a lot of them.
Bell inside Napier. Move inside. There it is.
It's a lot easier to do when you don't have a guy with you.
He's got 6 points, Napier.
It's like that defensive back falling down in the playoffs the other night. It's a lot easier to score when nobody's going with you. Anthony Holmes stuck the hip out. Got called for the foul.
So that'll go against Holmes. That's his first.
And you know he's a two-time academic All-OAC pick, but it wasn't a smart play there. Smart kid.
Take a look at it again there. Sticks his hip out.
Let's put a camera everywhere in this building. You can pretty much catch anything as Neil Young's having a long conversation there.
Lots of discussion on the sidelines between one official and Neil Young.
Asked him if he's seen the movie Bullet Train yet. Brad Pitt's very good in it.
Ball goes to Jeffries. Jeffries inside Napier. Trying to make the move. He's got the advantage.
Ooh.
Beautiful shot.
You know, somebody hits that shot in horse, you just take your letter. Because he was going the wrong way and was able to flip it back with the dominant hand, his left off the glass.
And we are tied at 22. Up and in, Cam Evans. He's got 8. Napier out front.
See, Otterbein's doing a good job in the last 5 minutes of pushing everything away from the basket for the most part.
Napier puts the shot up, and there's going to be a foul on Otterbein.
CJ, like I said earlier on, just joined the 1,000-point club at 15 and 17 points against these guys last year. He had 1,004 points coming into tonight. It's a 1,000-point score in both high school and college.
Hanna picks up the foul, his first.
One of the 3 starters tonight for these two teams with that exact same moniker. Well, Miller and Michael Berner back in. Berner had a big game last year with 15 points against Otterbein.
Napier, an 80% free throw shooter. He can tie it up, and he does.
I'm still trying to figure out what CJ stands for. I'm guessing it's not Chris Jericho. He's not Chris Jericho Napier. Chaminade Julien?
Up court.
These are the CJs that I know.
See Chaminade Julien, yeah,
That's
sure.
probably not-
Keller with the steal.
It's probably not his name. Christian Johnson? It's a good possession here for Northern. They've got to work a little deeper into the shot clock, find somebody like Miller open on the backside switch.
Miller looks at Bernier, goes to Napier, shot no good. Looked inside at Berner.
Got called for a shove.
And Berner is going to be called for the shove. That'll be his first. 15 foul is Otterbein will have it. We are deadlocked at 24 with 7:03 to go here, first half action.
Let's just say he was not in agreement with that. He asked the referee why he was a Grinch, said Christmas season's over.
With the basketball, Julian Heckman back over to the left side. It comes at Evans. He'll fire the 3 and connect.
That's his 20th of the year from outside. Talked about it earlier. He averages 21. He's got 11 with about 6.5 minutes to go in the half.
3-point lead for the Cardinals. Miller, Berner. Shot by Long, counted. Landed Long.
Had 6 in the last game out in Florida. He's heating up here.
And we're tied again at 27 all.
Wow.
Long range 3. Julian Heckman, the freshman out of Reynoldsburg.
You think if you told him he has to dial 1 before he does that, he'd even know what that means? I doubt it. Say why? I got a cell phone. I don't have to dial 1.
Long feed inside. Burner will put it up. We got a timeout. Got a 30-second timeout with 5:46.
30-second time.
5:46 to go. We got a discussion on whether it's a 30-second, a short or a long. Michael, what do you want to cast your vote for it?
Well, when Coach Young asked about it, he said, "Is it a 30? They just now it's a full."
It is a full timeout. So
it's Schrodinger's cat. It's both yes and no.
That's the wildest timeout I've seen. Our score: Otterbein 30, Ohio Northern 29. We'll keep it right here, though, and remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's men's basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503, Friday, January the 13th at 9 p.m. and Sunday, January the 15th at 7 p.m. And you can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. I'll tell you what should be a little bit of a concerning factor for Ohio Northern is the relationship between head coach Neil Young and the one official.
Yeah, or lack thereof,
or
depending
lack
on who you're asking.
Yes.
Other things going on, the Ohio Northern women right now on a huge run. Kristen Luersman just knocked out a triple down in Otterbein, and the ONU women ranked number 20 in the top 25 this week. As I say that, Casey Knippen foul. 24-14 midway through the second quarter. So a good run. Kristen Luersman and Bryn Serban combined for 16, and we'll see the women coming up not that far from now. I enjoy watching that team play.
10-1. They played some good basketball.
They're shooting the lights out, too. 9 of 21 through their first half. You look at what the men have done so far. They would like 9 of 21, but 12 of 23 isn't bad either.
Otterbein with the basketball after a timeout. Evans shot no good. Rebound comes down to Conley.
He had to have felt that in his legs. That was just, there was nothing there when he reached down.
Miller with it. He'll look into the eyes of Cam Evans. He'll get it to the right side.
Thought about it.
Top of the key. He goes inside. Pushes it back out to Conley. Conley back over to Napier. Moves inside, and CJ connects.
CJ's having himself a first half with 12, and you kind of get the feeling if Will Miller is setting him up on the wing, they've run the same play 3 times now on that switch, that he can get to the basket whenever he wants against this Otterbein defense.
Long range jumper, Hannah partially blocked. Miller picks it up.
Burner got him
down court.
He's looking for CJ right there too.
Napier, number 22, he'll come back out. He'll get the basketball. Into the lane he goes. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound to Evans.
I'd like to know what exactly Carson Conley saw there because he rushed it. Dallas Patrick with a miss and CJ with another rebound. These are important minutes too, the last 4 minutes of this half. Because if you go back in the last game that we had for the men in 2022 with Capital, 3-ball all the way, short off the front of the rim. It was the last 4 minutes that Northern was fighting to get back from being down 9, and then disaster happened.
Evans looks inside, he'll turn it over. Picked up by Long. Into the lane he goes. He scores and should draw the foul. What a beautiful move by Landon Long.
Just enough of a hesitation at the top of the key when he went in. He's now got 10. How about that? Northern's got 2 guys in double figures right now. And that's an important one too, because Heckman is a big player of the rotation for the opposite side of the Cardinals, and he's got 2.
Landon Long steps to the free throw line. 80% free throw shooter. Let's look at that one more time.
It's amazing that went in.
Free throw is good, and Ohio Northern has a 4-point lead.
How about that? Now 21-26 on the year. And you know what improves your relationship with the officials? Continuing to lead the game. That's at least what's happening now.
Bryson Lane over to Hannah. Evans with it. Miller will guard him. Evans loses the ball. Steal by Conley. Conley going for the hoop. Shot doesn't go. Michael Berner off the glass with the rebound. An offensive board that gives Ohio Northern a 6-point lead.
It's always nice when you have a 6'8" guy running with you.
Timeout, Otterbein. 3:14 to play, first half. Ohio Northern 36, Otterbein 30. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Households are using more connected devices than ever before. TVs are streaming, smartphones are browsing, security cameras are watching, and virtual assistants are, well, assisting.
You'll need an umbrella today.
As you add more devices, we are constantly improving our technology to deliver the fastest and most reliable internet to your home. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get NKTelco high-speed internet with speeds up to 1 gig. Call 1-888-NKTelco today.
Ohio Northern shooting 15 out of 29 from the field, 52%. Otterbein 11 out of 23 at 48%.
Here's two big stats so that'll jump out to you to kind of go with a 6-point lead. Northern is 11-2 on second chance points and 22-12 on points in the paint. Now Coach Winters is not happy. It's a different guy though. Guy on the other side they're not happy with.
Inbounds pass, Bryson Lane. Into Hannah. Back out to Lane. Lane trying to go inside. Berner there, go to the baseline. Shoots it over to Raines, and he'll connect on the three.
So you're
Brennan
saying
Raines.
it rains triples?
You could say that.
Not supposed to be raining anymore.
36-33, 3-point Ohio Northern lead. Loose basketball.
6 turnovers for the Bears. You look at Brennan Raines. High school was a captain, and is a captain at a terrific basketball school in Lakewood St. Ed's. He's from Middleburg Heights, right next door. One of my favorite delis of all time is right there. They're closed on Monday when I was in Cleveland. Made me sad. But a lot of conversation about it.
Brennan Raines will toss it in. Back over to Bryson Lane.
Bryson yelled at him and said, "It's safe, give me the ball."
Turnaround jump shot, Patrick, and he'll connect.
Such a smooth looking jumper. He's actually been on the bench for about the last 5 minutes. Comes in and immediately snags .8.
1 point Ohio Northern lead. Miller to the baseline. And he'll draw the foul, and Miller will go to the free throw line.
Just did his high school alma mater, Otterbein, a couple of days ago. They beat Minster last Wednesday night, and I was looking back at it. Last year when they played at Minster, he had a night where he only missed 1 free throw. He was 1 away from a school record as he can get himself to the basket on a little extra step there. I think it was 17 of 18, and he had 30 points that night. That's why I challenge him every night to get 30. He said, I'm 2/3 of the way there. I've got a 20-point game for my career high. And inevitably,
Studer into the lineup for Ohio Northern.
he missed the free throw.
Second free throw is good. He's got 6 points on the night. Ohio Northern's lead at 2.
Also Ethan Bell now defending out front after the subs.
Over to the left side it goes, and Hannah at the free throw line. Back out to Patrick. Patrick behind the arc. Raines. Patrick, nice move on the baseline.
That's not even fair.
And We are tied at 37 all.
Important, though, too, because he was able to kind of work under one side and out the other. He's Wellington High School's all-time leading scorer. You see, he can get to the basket, just the second player in his school history to go over 1,000. But the thing that jumped out to me the most was reading about him when he was a junior. He had 3 triple-doubles. He's a terrific passer.
Napier, left-handed shot. Polar Bears go back up by 2.
What do you think he is tonight on that baby hook shot with the left? I bet he's 3 of 3 or 4 of 4.
Near perfect is what I would say. Out front is Patrick. Patrick will shoot the 3 in and out. Rebound comes down to Ethan Bell.
Little hiccup on his take there. Napier jumped in front of him.
Napier, ball on the floor. He's going to draw the foul on MJ Davis.
And everybody just gets a hug. It's time to take a step. There's a guy who needs a hug.
We're going to talk to him at halftime, too.
You're going to talk to him at halftime.
Yes, we're going to talk to Neil Young at halftime.
In a much better mood than he was against Capital.
Oh, a lot can happen in a minute 16, Michael.
Don't jinx it.
Nope, I don't want to do that. Napier will shoot another one as number 21, Heath Jeffries, comes into the lineup.
ONU women, minute to go before the half, up 36-21. Kristen Luersman with 13.
Free throw no good, but tipped out by Bell. All the way up to Patrick.
Something happened where Cam Evans, I think he and CJ might have knocked knees, and he just kind of was slow getting up there. Now, I guarantee Coach Winters is probably going to ask at the half, why did you slow down my fast break?
Yeah, with the way Patrick has been playing, he's got 10 points, and inbounds pass. They're going to give it to Otterbein underneath the basket.
We do not have the guys across the way doing the wave today, though.
No, we're missing the folks over there.
They must be only Saturday type people. Wednesday night, they got to study and go to class on Thursday.
We'll wait for the next Saturday game.
It's not that far away.
Nope, it is not.
It's a doubleheader, I think was the 14th.
Raines is going to throw it in.
Oh,
there
wow.
it is. Evans. Miller a little frustrated with himself on that one, and we're tied at 39.
Well, he's probably saying, was he not the guy just laying on the floor on the other side of
He was. He's been on the floor a couple times. Napier's 3, no good. Battle for the rebound. Evans will grab it. Up court quickly. Patrick into the lane.
Ooh.
Oh my, what a shot.
Put that one on your highlight reel.
I'm going to take a walk, Michael.
So back-to-back baskets now. That one makes it a little bit hard to replicate. CJ Napier up top on the Polar Bear logo, down 2, but in a good position here just before the half with a handoff for Mason Studer. Well, he was down to 17, shot clock at 8. Miller for 3 in the lead. Offline, CJ Napier corrals with the left hand and drops another in. Here's the end of the quarter. Now it's Evans for 3 in the lead. Off the front, the putback. And we're tied here at halftime at 41 at the ONU Sports Center, where Ohio Northern has put together a pretty good record over the year. They're 30-15 against Otterbein here all time inside this facility, and get a chance to talk Polar Bear basketball. It's going to be interesting here in just a second as Coach Young with some words with Dave.
Young here at halftime. We're tied at 41 all. observations on the first half?
I mean, I think it's two good teams playing really hard. You know, like both offenses are scoring points, but I think both offenses, for the most part, are shooting kind of tougher contested shots. I mean, I just think it's a good OIC basketball game right now. As far as coming into the second half, what would you like to see your team do a little bit better? Well, we got to find a way to get some more stops. You know what I mean? Like, it's both. I think both of our teams are better defensively than they are offensively, and that hasn't been the case so far in the first half. So both teams are going to be searching for ways to get a couple extra stops. All right. Thank you very much, Coach. We're tied here at the Ohio Northern University Sports Center. Ohio Northern 41, Otterbein 41. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course. It's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
We are tied here at the Ohio Northern University Sports Center. It's 41 all. Ohio Northern and Otterbein. Taking a look at the first half, it seemed like, Michael, once Ohio Northern started to go inside, offense picked up. Napier, sensational at times, and the offense played quite well. And like Coach Young said, he feels there's a couple of pretty good offensive basketball teams here on the court right now, and I think the halftime stats will bear that out.
Yeah, and you see 17 to 33 is pretty good. You can almost forget the 2 of 12 because of kind of how they came, but the numbers for me don't necessarily show up here. It's 26 to 18 in the paint. Remember, Northern had a 22 to, I think, 6 advantage, so really the last 7 minutes or so, Otterbein was able to get into the paint. The one thing Northern is really good at right now, though, second chance points are 13 to 2. And I'm really waiting to see how the second half starts, because you've got CJ Napier, who's got 16, but it's a fiery Northern club. And remember, Adam Scott got a technical in the first half, and we've kind of been leading towards whether the Northern coaching staff is going to pick up that second one or not.
It's come close. Yeah,
at least
I think that's a great point. There's a lot more emotion on the Ohio Northern side of it than we've seen in quite a while. Well, in any previous games.
And if you're Northern, you've lost 4 straight in this series, and you lost both games last year. You lost here at home, and both, I think, were within a 5-point span. And it's kind of one of those things that Coach talked about a couple of weeks ago with you at halftime of we have to win close games. They lost 71-67 here last year and 57-53. In the second game. He cannot be happy looking at John Carroll on Saturday of getting back through the holiday season. They come back from Florida. Everybody's nice and tan. You just got to play better in the second half.
And Ohio Northern will have the basketball first to start the second half. Long with it. Over to Miller. Burner rolls inside. It goes to Long in the corner, but it's taken away there by Heckman.
But that wasn't what they drew up.
Patrick inside. Nice defensive play by Adam Scott.
I do like, though, that each team has done this a couple of times. You see it right now on the floor. Whenever they get a chance, it's very loud in this building, to sort of pull together and just kind of make sure, all right, everybody's on the same page for what we're about to do next.
Evans with it. Back over to the right side, and teammate Heckman, he'll go inside, but he'll push it back out. Dallas Patrick, who also had a very good first half for the Cardinals.
Even though he sat for a good portion of it. Wasn't foul trouble, just for a couple of times.
Heckman for three. Napier will grab the rebound. Miller coasts up court.
So Will and CJ played that little give-and-go route so well in the first half. See if they can continue that maybe on the backside with Adam Scott here.
Scott to Burner. Long. Wants to go inside, cut off there by Heckman. Back out to Scott. He'll shoot the three. Burner will get the rebound, tosses it back into Miller, and the shot clock, as unfortunately for Ohio Northern, no Otterbein player touched that one on that exchange.
And I don't know that Miller knew where the shot clock was when he went after that ball. But if you remember the first half, Northern scored on their first three possessions and then turned it over on their next three. They've gone 0 for 2 with two turnovers essentially here to start the second half. Not what Coach Young wants.
Heckman back over to MJ Davis. Patrick will get it at the free throw line. He'll shoot it. No good. A rebound. Landed long. Ethan Bell up court. Ooh. Finds Burner. Boy, what a pass. Ethan Bell put it right on the money to Burner.
Here's your hot sauce. And I don't know that you're going to be happy if you're Otterbein for watching this. This is from half court, too, by the way. He saw a window, flipped it through, and then a little bit too much pushing and shoving from Alex Hanna.
Long with the basketball, trying to go inside off the glass. No good. Rebound. Alex Hanna. Sophomore gets it up court. Here come the Cardinals. Evans. Back out Heckman. Davis. Hanna back over to Evans, guarded there by Bell. He'll go into the lane. All the way back out and over to Hanna. There's going to be a foul. That's going to be on Bell.
What's that rule? Don't foul a jump shooter. That's exactly what happens. You watch Ethan Bell come by and watch him just clip the shooter on the way down. It's that old you have to give him a landing spot thing. Alex Hanna, a finance major from Milford High School.
Hanna will step to the line.
Maybe one of the only kids that you'll hear this about this season. He lettered in lacrosse in high school. He's a big lacrosse guy. See the Northern bench having a conversation. That's his first points of the ball game. It's his first points of the second half.
And Hanna, good free throw shooter as he's showing. 82% shooter coming in to tonight's contest, only adding to that. And he connects on all three, and it's a 3-point Otterbein lead with 17:50 to go. Lots of time as Bell brings it across the timeline.
Look how that worked out.
Burner has it. Napier wants to shoot. He will. Too strong. Rebound Heckman.
Like that was never going to go in because he hesitated. It's kind of the old good shooters don't think about it, and he's a good enough one. They got him into his head, and it would not go.
Hanna still handling the basketball out front. Evans will get it. Bell on him. Evans goes inside. Short 10-footer. Doesn't get the roll. Napier with the rebound.
That's what happens when you play Plinko and the price is right, and it just goes right into the zero, and you think you're going to get 10. That's not going to work.
Napier with the basketball. Shot clock, 15 seconds.
Another nice job on the defensive end.
Lots of bodies. Let's see who the foul is on.
It's on Burner. It's got to be on Burner. Wow.
Going to be on Cam Evans.
I think the referee just did a pirouette. Is that what that was? Here's the replay of it. Is he not allowed to box out? I mean, I can see why Coach Winters is mad. The theory being that he undercut him, is that what the actual foul was? Honestly, I don't understand that.
And they're pointing to the shot clock.
You get 20 on the reset. You don't get the full 30, the rule that they changed a couple of years ago.
Bell will inbound it. Scott has it. Patrick will guard Scott. Back out to Miller. Scott. Shot clock at 5. Turnover. Here comes Heckman. He's going to lose it out of bounds. And it's going to go Ohio Northern's way.
You go back and look at that last possession, though, for Northern, and it's got to be kind of frustrating as you'll see the replay on the strip and just kind of the race with Julian Heckman right there, loses it. But on that last possession for Ohio Northern, something I was watching as Adam Scott is working down and on the left block, everybody was standing around watching him with a basketball. By the time that he went inside, he drew everybody else's defender. So he had 4 guys on him and nobody was moving.
Well, let's see what happens this time. Bell out front with the basketball. Napier. Shot doesn't go. Miller with the rebound. They're going to call it on Cam Evans.
And I don't know if we can get a shot of it, but right in front of where we're standing at, Coach Winters is right in front of me. And he put his hand up on his forehead and just sort of talked to himself for a second of why? Why is this continuing?
We have a full timeout with 16:03 to go. Our score, Otterbein 44, Ohio Northern University 41. You're listening to college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Wagner's IGA has been servicing their communities for more than 95 years, spanning 3 generations. Wagner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wagner's today in Minster, Fort Laramie, and New Bremen, and check us out on Facebook.
Back here at the Ohio Northern University Sports Center. It's a 3-point Otterbein lead on 3 free throws. Kind of slow moving on offense here in this start of this half, as there's only 3 free throws by Alex Anna.
Easy for you to say.
Easy to you to say, that's correct. Is the difference in this one.
Yeah, and it's been kind of sloppy at times. I think both teams, we talked about how they play in the 70s and they want to get out and run, but how about the 2 fouls from Cam Evans that, again, coach is still standing in front of me and he's not exactly happy.
Napier with the basketball.
Miller.
Heckman went down. Napier puts it up. Tip. Napier. I think he was fouled the first time.
But if you ask him, he was.
I bet you do. If you ask him, he definitely was.
So Will Miller threw a football tackle, and they don't even have football at Otterville.
Evans with the basketball into the lane. Nice move. Shot doesn't go. Ball's tipped, and Napier clears it. Yeah, CJ will bring it up court.
Having himself a good night. That's his 9th rebound to go along with his 18 points.
Looking inside, puts it up. Shot doesn't go. Hannah with a rebound. Heckman, Evans now. He wants to go inside on Miller. And that's going to be on Miller. His second foul.
One thing I would say defensively is Miller is the only guy consistently getting back. And if you can't get back and put 2 guys in front of Evans in the basket, you're going to have some trouble. You see why he's a 21 per game scorer. If you got him, use him. So there's about 8 kids just ran by.
Got a host of substitutes as 15-14 on the clock.
It's been almost 3 minutes since Otterbein has scored their only points of the half.
Inbounds pass, Dallas Patrick, he will connect.
You know what changes that? Dallas Patrick.
That's right, 14 points for Patrick.
And a smooth 14. Oh.
That's going to be against Miller. Player control foul.
Nobody in his family seems to agree sitting behind us. His brother just sort of threw the towel and said, I don't think so.
Take a look at it one more time.
Call. I mean, he high points on the shove with the left hand. It's also a good job backing.
Bryson Lane brings it up court. Patrick will have it. Heckman.
See how he threw that over, sort of had a shot put it across?
Hanna with the long range, no good. He gets his own rebound. Patrick all the way back out here to Raines. Brennan Raines with it. They'll move it to the right side. Heckman from long range, way off target.
That had to be altered by Long.
Not a very good shot.
Or he caught the wind. It's very windy in this gym.
Long shot, no good. Patrick has it. Ooh. Jeffries goes for the steal, but Otterbein will control it. Patrick into the lane.
He was looking for a dunk.
Keith Jeffries is going to catch the pass up and in. That sound you heard was hands hitting the glass.
Tom Simmons going to sue somebody. Say we need a new backboard now.
Hanna. Back over to Patrick. Patrick to Raines. Lane will have it out front. Miller's all over him. Inside it goes. Heckman, nice feed to Hanna, but the shot doesn't fall. And a rebound is grabbed by Carson Conley.
Something I kind of wonder about Will Miller, though, is he's on the officials' radar, and then he's got 3 fouls. And it's kind of one of those things as an ultra-aggressive player. The great bounce pass on that lead.
Shot doesn't go by Heath Jeffries.
You get on that radar, and all of a sudden, maybe 1 or 2 of those steals become fouls.
That's a good point, especially this evening. Hanna inside, nice move. He will score and draw the foul. Alex Hanna.
He's got all 5 of his points here in the last 4 minutes. There's nothing fancy here. He just straight beat his man to the basket.
A little bit over-aggressive on the defensive part by Ohio Northern, breaking the action. 13:05 to play. Otterbein 48, Ohio Northern 45. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports. Back here at Ohio Northern University, there you see the Polar Bears and head coach Neil Young. 13:05 to go. They find themselves down by 3 points.
It's kind of hard to believe for me when I look at him that Neil Young's his 10th overall year. 133 and 127 in his first year at ONU as he finishes drawing things up. Ohio Northern women in action down at 5-4 Otterbein. So they sit 10-1 on the year. They're now trailing or leading just by 9. Bryn Serban with 15 in that ball game. We'll see the women coming up. Ranked number 20 in the country.
Alex Hanna, 6'6" sophomore out of Milford, will step to the line.
It's out 12 of 14 on the year.
He connects.
The last 4 minutes and 47 seconds, he's put up all 6 of his points.
Anthony Holmes into the lineup for Otterbein. And Mason Studer.
Studer, the freshman, at 4 points a game. Kind of in there to help run the point with Will Miller. And I think it's an important thing, too. To get Miller and Long in there is kind of, however you want to look at it, as a 2 and a 3. Offensively, it'll give them a chance to get open. There it is. There's Miller.
Miller with the basketball. Fadeaway jumper. Shot no good. Scott up and in. Adam Scott. What a muscle shot by Scott.
And immediately having that reversal of having Mason Studer in there. Watch this replay. There's a miss on the fadeaway. But it did exactly what I was saying. It freed up Will Miller to move without the basketball, create, and then Adam Scott finishes it up. All WBL performer at Wapakoneta. What'd you say, you knew his dad?
Yeah. Knew a good portion of the family, let's put it that way.
Averaged 23 minutes a game in over 50 that he's appeared in.
And he connects on the free throw.
I remember when he signed to go to Northern, thinking he's going to be a good one. Now you watch him and you say he is a pretty good one. At 9 points, 9 rebounds against Otterbein last year.
Into the lane goes Lane, rebound. Studer, left side. Scott's going to take the charge.
He's going to get called for a charge.
Going to get called for the charge. Evans got pretty good position on him.
This is a good play. It's a bang-bang play, though, from where the official is. But like you said, guy got in front of him, had his feet set, just waited for the train. And you could see what Scott was thinking, too. He was thinking, how far out can I jump and throw it down? Like my name is Scott Robinson. That guy's got unlimited dunk range.
So Otterbein will inbound it.
What I didn't tell you is it's those little cheese packets with the breadsticks. That's his unlimited dunk range.
Evans gets it inside to Bryson Lane. Brings it up court. Lane. Back over to Raines. Krieger into the lineup.
Otterbein's settling right now. Northern is forcing them to take less steps, so maybe one less step, and forcing them to settle for shots that they don't want.
Scott. Back out to Miller. Miller wants to go inside. Got a whistle. Got a foul on number 3, Jared Krieger.
No, they gave it to Cam Evans. Evans hit him with a little forearm shiver as he went by. But I was laughing because Landon Long, I didn't see who it was, but he lost his defender. And I think it might be Brennan Raines because he's asking about where the mop guy is. He just straight knocked him down on a pick.
Miller inbounds it to Scott. Scott, fadeaway jumper. Doesn't go, tipped away there. Comes down to Raines. Raines on the break. He'll pull it up and shoot the 3. Shot no good. Rebound. Comes down to number 21, Heath Jeffries.
I think if Scott had to do that again, he would probably spin baseline to try to get a better shot instead of coming in with an extra defender.
Jeffries back over to Scott. Scott wants to move inside. He'll dump it off. They'll move it back out. Open.
Wide open.
Jeffries. Shot no good. A rebound. Brennan Raines quickly up court.
0 for 4 on the year. That might be why he was that open in the corner.
And Jared Krieger knocks it home. And Otterbein, coach, immediately takes the full timeout. 11:01 to go in this one. Our score, Otterbein 52, Ohio Northern 48. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Otterbein, there you see them. They take the timeout after Jared Krieger connects on the three. That makes him 3 out of 8 on the season. An unlikely choice to fire up the three.
I'm just happy I didn't call him Tim Krieger from St. John's. Had a heck of a career as well. He's a really good college player, too. Heck of a football player. A lot of these same guys, all multiple sport athletes in high school. ONU women 49-45, just entering the fourth quarter.
Napier with the basketball over to Long. Long looks inside. Burner runs the cut, rolls to the hoop. Napier with it.
He wanted to go over the top to Carson Conley, who's in the left corner, but he knew better than to try to throw over the top of a bunch of 6'6" guys.
Bell will have it into the lane. He goes. Short jumper is good, and Ethan Bell.
That's a great jump stop, too, because almost on the way down from setting it up, he lost his defender.
Bell's first basket of the game, and it's a big one. 2-point lead for Otterbein. They have the basketball. Back out to Evans. Davis, Evans in the lane. That's usually trouble, and it is. Lead goes to 4, 54-50.
That's his first points of the second half. And that's big because he had 13 at the break. His last basket just before the halftime break tied it at 59.
Inside to Burner. He's going to try and go inside. He'll draw the foul.
Anthony Holmes, the 6'6" senior, got him.
Did you care to repeat what he said, Michael?
Did you hear what he said?
Parts of it.
Coach Winters is right in front of me, and his question, or he very nicely asked in reference to Anthony Holmes, who swats away that ball from C.J. Napier. Sir, could you please come over here and explain to me what he could have done better when you get a chance? That's the nicest thing I think I've ever heard a coach say. He said, please, when you get a chance.
Bell has the basketball, and they'll probably continue that conversation, too. Burner rolls to the hoop. Long from a long range, to say the least, but Evans will come up with a rebound. Evans straight into the lane. He'll dump it off to the corner. Shot no good, and the rebound will come down to Ohio Northern.
Kind of surprised that he gave that look up, because I thought he was going right through the lane.
Great hustle by Carson Conley. Let's see, shot off target, and it's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be off of Bell. And it's pretty obvious what Neil Young wants his team to do, move the basketball.
I didn't catch what just happened, but something along the way, the official was just explaining. Oh, I think he was explaining that last foul to Neil Young.
I think Young was more upset that his team didn't move the basketball than anything.
It's a big possession here in this game.
4-point difference. Inside it goes to Davis. Boy, the Otterbein bench thinks it's a big score. 6-point advantage for Otterbein. That's the biggest lead we've had in quite a while. I have to look to see what the largest of tonight has been. Bell with it. He'll go to his left.
Northern's pushing a little too much right now, wanting to make these plays. The last two possessions where they took deep threes.
Napier back out. Long range shot no good by Conley. Rebound comes down to Raines. Here comes Otterbein. Coming up on the 8-minute mark. Davis, Evans, 15-footer, no. Napier with the rebound. Up court. Inside it goes to Burner. Reverse layup, and he'll score. draws the foul and will go to the free throw line.
That's one of those ones he hit from an impossible angle as a guy that tall. Able to use his size to his advantage.
Got a timeout, 7:51 to go. Otterbein 56, Ohio Northern 52. That is a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here and remind you that tonight's game brought to you by John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons drive-thru, Jalapeno's Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games, and NKTelco. Additional sponsors for tonight's game: Whatever Cards and Games, Four Seasons drive-thru, and Jalapeno's Mexican Grill with locations in Ada and Shawnee, Northwest Ohio Liquidations, and Holiday Inn Express in Wapakoneta. All bring you tonight's action from the Ohio Northern University Sports Center. Polar Bears take the timeout. Difference is 4 points. Otterbein with the lead as Michael Werner will step to the line.
You know, in the first half, there were 5 lead changes. We were tied 9 times. ONU led by 6. Otterbein's biggest lead in the first half was 4.
Shot no good, and the rebound off to Raines.
Ohio Northern women now 54-52 with 4 minutes to go.
Had a big lead early.
They were just tied a second ago.
Back out front to Heckman. Heckman moves to the lane. Davis is on the left side. Evans is on the right side. They'll do a crisscross and reverse corners. Evans gets the basketball. Into the lane he goes, looking for the corner, but Ethan Bell with a big steal.
Now
He's good at that.
Something.
Miller trying to go off of Scott. Back over to Bell, looking inside. Napier back out Scott. He's going to shoot the 3. Got it. 1 point game. Ohio Northern coach Neil Young urging his team to get back on defense as Ohio Northern has pulled to within a point here.
What a big time player.
Hannah. Shot no good. Rebound. Miller.
Looked like Scott with a hand in his face maybe kind of changed that play path.
Bell has it. Ohio Northern can take the lead on this possession. Inside Napier. Evans. Ball is on the floor, and I think, let's see what they'll call. Jump ball.
CJ tried to do a little too much. Kind of one of those things coaches will always say, you cannot dribble in the middle of the lane like that because you have the extra defender in the baseline and the other 3 that were near him.
Got a timeout on the floor, 6:34 to play. Otterbein 56 and Ohio Northern 55. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
6:34 to play, and Ohio Northern finds himself down by a point. Polar Bears have 3 players in double figures. CJ Napier with 16, Adam Scott 11, Landon Long with 10. Otterbein, on the other hand, Cam Evans at 15, and Dallas Patrick at 14. Julian Heckman with 8 for the Cardinals. They have the basketball after the timeout. 6.5 to go on the John and Tony's Restaurant scoreboard. 56-55 Otterbein. Miller out front on Heckman. Patrick back over to Heckman for 3. Shot way off target.
Werner looked like he might have got a finger on it.
Scott grabbed the rebound. He's got the basketball right now.
The Miller in the corner. He's got a quick trigger.
Possession Polar Bears can take the lead on. Scott inside. Shot clock at 10. Scott will shoot it again. Doesn't go, but Burner gets it. He'll draw the foul as he tried to muscle it back up, and we'll see who the foul is on, but it looks like to be on number 13, Julian Heckman.
So 8 fouls now for Otterbein, 5 against Northern. The women, by the way, now tied 54-54 with 2 minutes to go.
Burner 0 for 1 at the line.
Every time I look at him, I think he reminds me of the dude from Supernatural. There's a show on the CW. His name's Jared Padalecki. He's got a show called Walker, Texas Ranger now.
We are tied, by the way.
Burner, 7 of 21 from the free throw line. So this is ultra important, trying to get a lead here.
Here comes the potential tiebreaker. A little bit too strong. Rebound goes off Ohio Northern.
It's fascinating.
Boy, the reactions.
Never been to a game here. They flipped. We've talked about this before. They flipped where we used to sit. We used to be on the other side of the floor. After they renovated the place, we now sit in between the two benches closer to the visitor side. And you can hear every single thing that goes on from either bench.
Patrick doesn't get the roll. And then some.
Right. He's not going to be, you don't get that. And he's, you know, he's not going to be a happy guy. I said, I get that in Gehenna.
Patrick. Inside goes Scott. It doesn't go. But Burner goes to the floor. Evans on the break.
This might not be the worst thing to happen for ONU, though.
I think that was a breakaway for Evans. 2 players went to the floor down in the one end in front of the Ohio Northern bench. Burner and Hannah.
It's his third. I mean, it doesn't necessarily hurt anything. It's just the 6th foul. You need to go into the bonus at some point anyways.
So the foul is against Burner, and Ohio Northern's got 6. Otterbein's got 8.
It's good to see they've recruited over there to help wipe things up.
As they do up a little bit of mop-up duty.
I'm just mesmerized again. We talked about it earlier on. Coach Wooders is 31 years old. And I listened to him, and I just, you know, it's the old wise behind his years thing, but an All-American point guard, set the Ohio Wesleyan a career assist record, was a part of their run to the NCAA tournament, and their first in a long time. But just, I mean, I can just hear it. Basketball knowledge is falling off of him.
Miller will come up with the steal. Scott with a basketball. Defense back to cut him off.
Needed a friend.
Pierre's shot a little bit short. Burner. Bell now with the shot. Got it. Ethan Bell. A 3-point goal. He's got 5, but boy, those last 3 are huge.
Gives Northern the first lead in quite a while. Remember, set up by the free throw from Michael Burner.
Davis has it inside. Takes it back out to Heckman.
Dallas Patrick up and down.
Patrick
to tie one on 4:09.
We are tied with 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Full timeout. Our score: Ohio Northern 59, Otterbein 59. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Back here at the Ohio Northern University Sports Center, there you see the Polar Bear huddle and the score. We are knotted up at 59. Halftime was 41 all, and second half, both teams have scored 18 points. And with 4:09 to go, it's a tie ball game.
Women's game, 2.9 seconds to go. Otterbein had the ball with 14 seconds coming out of a timeout, and they missed a shot from about 6 feet. So Northern has the basketball with 3 seconds to go as they try to protect that number 20 ranking and their 10-1 season.
Northern will have the basketball and a chance to take the lead. Let's see how this develops. Scott back over to Napier. Burner rolls inside, Miller with it. Evans on him. Scott to Burner. Napier being guarded by Davis inside. Lots of pressure there. Burner will get it, makes a move inside. Short jumper rolls in and out. Tip no good, and the rebound comes down to Dallas Patrick.
It's a good-looking set. Northern had sort of become reliant on the three ball, or at least taking those opportunities. They were able to take some time off, about 20 seconds, and work inside. Shot just wouldn't fall down.
Hannah, no good. Chased down by Raines.
This will be a foul on MJ Davis.
MJ Davis got a hold of him, Mike.
I was watching CJ Napier, and he immediately turned and started shaking his head of, I'm glad you guys were paying attention to that. As you see the foul, coming up in a second. Just the acknowledgement.
3 minutes, 22 seconds on the John and Tony's Restaurant scoreboard. CJ Napier at the line.
2 of 4 today.
Missed the free throw. Davis grabs the rebound. Evans up court. Evans, not a big guy, about 6'1".
Plays bigger than 6'1".
Plays much bigger. Turnover in the backcourt. Lead pass, Bell. Bell's going inside. Shot doesn't go. Davis clears the board, and here comes Evans. Near steal. Dallas Patrick for the lead. In and out. Rebound battle, and on the backside is Davis, who's incredulous that he was called with that foul.
Ohio Northern women got a shot from Kristen Luersman with 1 second straight away for three. Would not go down. They're going to overtime down the south.
Full timeout, Ohio Northern. 2:52 to go, our score. Ohio Northern 59, Otterbein 59. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Whatever Cards and Games in Ada is your locally owned, family-friendly business for all your gaming needs. We carry a wide range of collectible card games, board games, family games, role-playing games, educational games for all ages, and more. Stop in today for your much-needed expansion packs and war miniatures. We are an official tournament store for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and Cardfight Vanguard. Expect an enjoyable time at Whatever Cards and Games, where there's fun for everyone.
Back here at the Ohio Northern University Sports Center, we've got a tight one. Ohio Athletic Conference action. 59 all. Women's team also locked up and it's going to overtime. So lots of great basketball here on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, lots of people who are probably looking for more points. I mean, how do you do that, though? We're within 3 minutes of this game, the regulation part of it being done. Women got a shot to try to win it after they blew a 15-point lead at the half, and we're almost the exact same score. Well, Miller here, 1 of 2 from the line, now 37 of 49 on the year.
Miller will connect, and Ohio Northern has the lead.
That's his first points of the second half, just his 7th overall.
Not a lot of points here in the second half compared to the first half. Second free throw short, but there's Scott, and he puts it up and in. Alert play by Adam Scott on the missed rebound. He puts it back up and in, and it's a three-point hole. As it's 2:40.
See, now here's the fascinating part of the game for me. It's a cerebral thing for Otterbein because you do not have to have a three here. You can get a two. Just a question of what will they do.
Heckman wants to go inside, working on Bell. Back out to Patrick into the lane. Back over to the left side. Evans will have it. Fake, shoots, shot no good at shot clock.
Adam Scott is exactly who you give that star to defensively. Stood straight up about 1.5 feet away from where the shooter was. Didn't lunge, didn't try to really do anything except for to make sure that there was a hand in the area, that shot wasn't either going to get off or wasn't going to come anywhere close. He might be my game MVP just because he's done all the little things right today.
He did not commit the foul that time, like you said, and that's huge. 3-point Ohio Northern lead. Let's see if they can get themselves some breathing room as we come up on the 2-minute mark. Miller in the lane.
Got called for travel.
Otterbein bench calling for a travel.
I would say even maybe incredulously. 12 turnovers for Northern, 9 for Otterbein. Points in the paint, 38-24. Second chance points, though, is where Northern has made their mark. And of those 24-2 disadvantage, I would be willing to bet you that Adam Scott probably has at least 8.
I would agree. Inside it goes to Dallas Patrick. Back over to Heckman.
Same scenario. You don't have to have 3. You can get 2.
Miller with the block on Heckman. Great defensive play. Clock is at 1:49.
So take that with you back to Westerville. Northern women up 60-58. Thanks to a Brooke Allen layup.
Heckman. There's Evans. Bell goes down. Evans takes a shot and hits it. Got an injury timeout. And I think Bell may have a sprained ankle or an injury of some sort. Evans now with 18 points, 1:44 to go. And full timeout. And we'll keep it right here and talk a little bit about our 62-60 contest. Evans, Bell went down. Evans got the shot. Nothing but net.
Not only that, he didn't rush it. He was immediately, you saw he was able to take the step back, set himself, get the shot that he was looking for. It's still, though, he averages 21 a game. He's got 18 right now. You can't let him get loose. He's the kind of guy who will bury you. I mean, you look at, this is the first of the 2 times these teams play. Said Northern's lost 4 straight. They were within 5 or 6 points in both games last year. But if you're going to be a good team, Northern needs to win this to get to 500. Otterbein to continue what they've been doing in the OAC. You absolutely have to win close ball games like this.
Yeah, Patrick, he has 17. Evans has 18 to lead Otterbein on the 62-58 Ohio Northern, the women's team, in overtime going up on Otterbein.
Brooke Allen's got all 4 points.
Surviving the scare.
There have been 121 shots in this game. There have also been 48 threes. And why is Otterbein in this game, by the way? Because they're 8 of 24 from 3. Northern is 4 of 24. Otterbein's 8 of 8 from the line. Northern's 8 of 14 from the line.
Miller with the basketball. Back over to Scott. Miller will have it out front. Evans is on him. Berner rolls to the basket. Long is now out front. Miller goes to the corner. That's where the ball goes. Inside, Napier. Shot's a little bit strong.
I think MJ Davis got him in the head on the way up, it looked like.
Shot just a little bit short by Napier. And now the clock coming up on a minute to go, and Otterbein can take the lead.
1 minute in regulation.
See, now you're in an awkward spot, though, if you're Otterbein, because you want to take time off, but you can't let the shot clock elapse.
Davis hits it.
Of course, the counter to that is Shot clock. What shot clock?
30-second timeout. And the big shot goes home, makes it 65-62. I'd like to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapenos Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games, and NKTelco.
I think they got confused on what timeout it was.
As the official wants the players up and ready to go.
He wanted it to be a 30.
Additional sponsors here tonight, Whatever Cards and Games, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapenos Mexican Grill with locations in Ada and Shawnee, Northwest Ohio Liquidations, and Holiday Inn Express in Wapakoneta.
Something a little to keep an eye on going forward. 6 fouls against Northern, so it'll be Otterbein with 1-1. This is a team that shoots 74% from the line. Northern's going to have double bonus situation, and they have the basketball on the arrow. They are a team at just under 70%. But that's big, knowing whatever you do, you're going to get 2 shots. And again, you do not have to have a 3. You can play 2 for 1. And I think Otterbein knows kind of what maybe Northern's thinking here.
Let's see how it pans out as Landon Long brings it up court. Hey, Pierre.
16-second differential in the shot in the game clock.
Hey, Pierre into the lane, puts it up and in. 65-64, timeout, Ohio Northern University.
See, and that's that thing again where you look at the difference. You're going to have 3.7 seconds on the game and shot clock, but you can always reach out and hit one of the free throw shooters. I mean, depending on who's in the game here, there are a couple of guys who, I mean, Dallas Patrick is not the guy you want to foul, but a couple of guys you might want to take your chance with. Davis is just 5 for 8.
33.7 seconds remain. It's a 1-point game.
This is one of those games where obviously people are rooting for a specific team while they're tuning in, but if you were a non-partial observer, you would probably go, you know, it's kind of a shame somebody has to lose this game because, 1, I need more basketball, and 2, it's been pretty entertaining. I mean, little man there is probably rooting for ONU.
He looks like an ONU guy. Yeah, a little bit orange and black there. Gives that one away.
He's trying to teach the cameraman how to Dougie.
There you see the Otterbein huddle as you're watching it here live on NKTelco Sports. Thanks for joining us.
Also, each team only with 1 timeout left.
Coming down to the final seconds of this one, 33.7 seconds. 1-point Otterbein lead.
So Julian Heckman's on the floor. He's 17-21. Bryson Lane will inbound the ball. He's 11-14, actually 13 of 17 now. Maybe Alex Hanna?
And he hit it. He hit his last attempts, I believe.
Cam Evans is 66 of 82.
Clock gun, 28 seconds. Up court to Patrick. There's the reach by Bell.
Dallas Patrick, 27 of 34 on the year. But like I said, we were just talking right before the timeout. Keep in mind, these are 1-and-1 shots.
So Patrick steps to the line. So he's facing a little bit of pressure here.
He's having himself a heck of a night.
Nice player all the way around.
Again, 1,000-point scorer in both high school and college. Has over 1,400 in high school. He's got 1187 coming in after 32 against Case last year, and he missed the free throw.
Bell brings it up court. Ohio Northern will take the timeout.
Now the question is, if you're Ohio Northern, who's taking the shot?
You're getting it to 22.
Well, let's see. Look on the night. If you look at Northern's free throw shooters that I expect are probably going to be on the floor. Will Miller came in 36 of 47. He's 2 for 4. Landon Long, he's 20 of 25. Now he's 1 for 1 today. It's not going to be Burner. It's either going to be Napier or Scott on the other end. CJ Napier has struggled from the line, though. He's 2 of 5 in this game, despite being pretty reliable. And Adam Scott's 2 for 2.
Scott would be choice number 2, but tonight Scott's played a pretty strong game. So it might be Scott. Let's take a look here. Scott's got 13, Napier's got 18. Scott 2 out of 2 at the line. Napier, 2 out of 4.
If Otterbein gives Ohio Northern a chance to try to say, go ahead, try to beat us, I honestly think it's going to come from Will Miller. Because if you look at the way that Otterbein has sort of closed down in the middle, CJ Napier gets the ball, or Adam Scott, depending on which block they're on, they're going to try to work themselves on the way in. Remember, we saw CJ has that terrific little left-handed baby hook that he went to when he drew an and one in the first half. But I feel like Otterbein's going to try to use their bigs, close in the middle, and it's going to be some sort of ball reversal that Northern will bring back out. Let's see, they got Burner, Long, CJ Napier, Adam Scott, and then the fifth guy would be Ethan Bell. So maybe switch that. Maybe it's Landon Long. But Napier against MJ Davis is a good matchup.
Scott to Burner. Bell will have it. Clock counting down at 15 seconds. Scott will have it. Napier to the baseline. Back out. Scott's open for 3. Got it! Adam Scott with 6 seconds. 6 seconds left. Adam Scott puts Ohio Northern into a 67-65 lead. Nothing but net. A beautifully arced shot that found a home, and Adam Scott 6 out of 10 from the field tonight. 2 out of 4 from behind the arc, but what a beautiful shot.
Had the right theory, had the wrong guy. It came to exactly where I thought. Northern went inside. They sort of doubled back down on CJ Napier. Otterbein said, we're not going to let you beat us. And that great cross-court set that I was talking about for Will Miller was kind of the same shot we're envisioning. I mean, how about Adam Scott? He nails the one from the top of the key earlier on when his team was down 5 and they desperately needed it. And now he calls money and maybe game, and he's got 16 points.
And we have 6.3 seconds remaining on the clock.
And the women are going to double overtime.
Hey.
My goodness.
How about that?
4 points in the last 25 seconds for Otterbein's women. But how about Adam Scott? Wapak, Connecticut, and Auglaize County have got to be thrilled right now.
67-65, or John and Tony's Restaurant scoreboard.
Opened his senior year with a 27-point performance at Wapak and said, you know what, I'm going to start closing out places here. And remember, Northern is not good at home. They've won just 1 game here in the friendly confines this year.
Let's see if they can add to that total.
But remember, again, it's a 1-and-1 foul situation if Northern fouls to put Otterbein on the line.
6.3 seconds. Heckman gets it to Evans. Evans mid-court, clock at 4. He'll go inside. There's the foul by Miller. Just trying to stop Evans from going inside.
It's not the worst thing in the world. It's the 4th foul on Miller. You put Otterbein at the free throw line in the form of Cam Evans. He took 2 free throws, but they came way back in the first half. He's 68 of 84 on the season.
He's got 18 points so far tonight for Otterbein.
The crazy thing happens is if he misses this, and look and you see down there, remember, neither team has a timeout.
No timeouts remain.
Northern women just took the lead in a Bryn Serban 3.
Evans. Nothing but net. 1 point difference. He has 19.
That's his first point since he tied the game at 62 with 1:44 to go. Trying to get a sub at MJ Davis in if this is a make, and it is.
And we're tied. Ohio Northern University coach Neil Young yelling direction to his team.
Now, whatever happens if you're Otterbein, you cannot foul on this inbound.
Napier will inbound it. Bell, here we go, fires it up. just off target. We're headed for overtime. Ohio Northern 67, Otterbein 67. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
At Four Seasons drive-thru, we have the coolest beverages in town and specials to satisfy all appetites.
Check out our Facebook page for all the details and times of Brandy's Pies. Get this great pizza by the slice or take home a whole pie. And don't forget his spectacular subs.
At Four Seasons drive-thru, we have all the supplies you need for game day celebrations.
Four Seasons drive-thru, 205 North Main Street in Ada. Great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
Go Bears!
Overtime, men's basketball, 67 all. Ohio Northern at 5-6, Otterbein at 9-2. Polar Bears doing their best to stop that 6-game Otterbein win streak.
Pay for 40 minutes, get 5 free.
Lots of strategy, lots of timeouts as we came down to the end of that one. And Cam Evans made his 19th and 20th points at the free throw line to tie it up.
But I mean, how about that 3 though? Kind of going back to Adam Scott. Just look at the night that he's had. He's 16 right now. And we talk about it. I tried to kind of set up what I thought they might do, and they did for the most part the same thing. But you put 5 guys out there now, you're kind of going defense for offense if you're Northern in overtime because Will Miller has 4 fouls. He had to pick one up with 2 seconds to go, and I guess unfortunately for Northern, Otterbein was able to complete the free throw set.
And we'll jump it up.
24 of 59 for Otterbein. 27 of 66 from the field for Northern, but 5 of 25 from 3.
Michael Berner and Alex Hanna will jump it up.
It's my favorite point of the start of any game and overtime. Which way are we going? We're going this way, right?
Tip goes to Otterbein. Heckman will have the basketball. Dallas Patrick to Hanna, down low, back over to Heckman. Evans, not this time, rebound Scott.
Having himself a day. Another rebound for him, that gives him 6. CJ Napier's got 11.
Berner, here's Scott. Napier, over to Berner. Napier, back out, it goes to Long.
Somebody better shoot it.
Shot clock at 2, shots a little bit short. Did not draw iron, so.
Julian Heckman, great defense. It's a force Long, kind of into an uncomfortable shot on the baseline. But you look at that, David, and the question always becomes, yes, you just played a solid 30 seconds of hard defense, but with this line on the offensive side, how much did that take out of you? Because we've seen Otterbein short on their last couple of threes.
Heckman back out to Evans. Patrick. Davis is over in the corner. Heckman will get it back over to Evans. Goes to the baseline. Loses it out of bounds. Point well made, perhaps.
And you know, it's kind of that age-old thing coaches will talk about all the time, that when you get to that point, when you get to overtime, you hope you're conditioned enough to where you don't have to bring your brain into it. You don't have to start thinking about it. You just rely on what you can do.
Long inside to Berner. Berner, ball tipped away by Evans. Boy, he just stole that.
Ripped it right out of his hands.
Evans. Heckman back over to Hanna for 3. Shot no good. Long with the rebound.
Missed Adam Scott.
Scott was open down court.
He was out on the football field looking for a friend.
Napier. He'll handle the basketball. Berner rolls inside. Napier working his way in. Right-handed shot off the glass.
Are you kidding me?
Beautiful.
And that's the preparation, because everything he's done has been left-handed. Now he went to the right.
Heckman's shot no good. 22 with the rebound.
That's a rush shot.
22's got 22.
He's also got 12 rebounds.
Wow. What a performance. Bell, 15-footer, got it. Ethan Bell, the 5'9" sophomore out of River Valley.
And I think that's the big difference is, remember, he's been playing spot duty where he and Will Miller have been splitting time. So he's more fresh than what Otterbein's guards are. As Patrick misses on the three, and another rebound for Adam Scott.
It's going to stay with Otterbein. Miller comes back in.
Speaking of, ONU women up 70-66 with 1:45 to go, and they have the basketball down in double overtime land. It's a favorite of our director, double overtime.
Heckman gets it into Evans. Picked up there by Miller.
He's got to be careful because he's got 4 fouls.
Back over to Heckman in the corner.
Patrick.
Shot no good. Scott with a rebound.
Look at him, he's exhausted. I would be too, because he's played, it feels like, nearly every minute of this ball game.
He has not been out very much, that's for sure. Scott rolls inside. Bell has it out front now. Burner back to Napier.
CJ was working that one-man game, wanted to do it by himself. Bell better hurry.
Bell in the lane. It's going to go Otterbein's way.
Yeah, he had that shot blocked, and I think as he was in the air, he sort of looked up at the clock and prayed that maybe it was going to be last touch, but it hit him on the way out, as you see on the replay. That's a good drive here, though. He just didn't have enough time.
In Carson Conley to give Napier a breather with 1:45 to go.
I bet it won't be for long. Northern women now have opened up a 10-4 second overtime. They lead by 6 with 45 seconds to go.
Bell on Heckman. A couple of nail biters going on in Ohio Northern country.
I mean, how crazy is it to play overtime against the same opponent, men's and women?
Patrick stuck, has to get it out. Hannah has it now. Great defense by Ohio Northern. Evans makes the move inside, puts it up, and it rolls home.
Too good of a scorer, too smart of a kid.
Draws that foul. He's got...
Be on Burner, that'll be 4. But again, I talked about Cam Evans, Zane Trace's all-time leading scorer, 2 district titles in 19 and 20. It was the first time since 1970 that Zane Trace had actually won a district title. The one of only 10 players in the history of the SVC to win back-to-back Conference Player of the Year awards. And he was cut from his 4th grade team, like I talked about earlier. His 4th grade coach is kicking himself right now. I don't know what their record was that year, but
I'm sure that that coach doesn't want any publicity either.
Right. Stop talking about that.
Evans will step to the line as they do a little maintenance work.
Somebody just texted him, John, they're talking about you again.
Evans trying to make it a 1-point game with a free throw here. 71-69.
No.
In and out. And the rebound to Napier.
Who else would it come down to?
Miller, Burner. Stamping of the feet means something, Michael.
A good tap dancer.
Napier going inside. He'll push it out to Miller. Miller into the lane.
He thought about it.
Short jumper doesn't go.
Should be Northern ball.
Should be Ohio Northern ball, as Heckman and Hannah both, I think, had the basketball.
One thing I can tell you is that camera down there probably got a really good look at that. There you go. See, that's exactly what I was talking about. They're on top of it.
Hey, the best in the business. Napier with the basketball. Back out to Bell. Shot clock at 15.
You don't have to rush here, though, if you're Northern.
Napier wants to go inside. Looks for Burner on the cut to the hoop, but it goes out of bounds.
The only thing I don't like about that possession is I feel like Northern was trying to push that a little too much, trying to kind of will themselves to something open like that. They had plenty of time. They had 14 seconds left in the shot clock.
Evans with the basketball.
Difference of 14 seconds right now.
Heckman back over to Raines. Raines, Evans. Pierre on him. They'll bring it back out. Clock goes under 30. Heckman wants to get into the lane on Miller. Puts it up and in, and we are tied at 71.
That's his 10th point, but it's the first of the second half and overtime.
And Ohio Northern will take the timeout. Full timeout. We'll take a break. Our score, Ohio Northern 71, Otterbein 71. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Households are using more connected devices than ever before. TVs are streaming, smartphones are browsing, security cameras are watching, and virtual assistants are, well, assisting.
You'll need an umbrella today.
As you add more devices, we are constantly improving our technology to deliver the fastest and most reliable internet to your home. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get NKTelco high-speed internet with speeds up to 1 gig. Call 1-888-NKTelco today.
.9 seconds. We're in overtime #1 men's basketball from Ohio Northern University. Polar Bears and the Cardinals 71 all. Key OAC game for both these two schools. Otterbein with only 1 league loss as we begin the 2023 portion of the schedule.
Also keep in mind here, it's double bonus on both sides, but Northern has no timeouts if they can get the ball in. Otterbein has 1.
Scott,
no
the burner. They'll hand it off to Bell. We're gonna have a buzzer beater.
Adam Scott in the corner. CJ Napier on the switch from Berner. I think it's gonna be all CJ. Here it goes. Spin.
There it is. CJ Napier, 1.2 seconds. We'll keep it right here. You're watching college basketball, OAC style, here on NKTelco Sports as the Ohio Northern coach is busy.
Watch this. What'd he do? He went back to his left hand. Remember, he'd been playing everything to the right, and MJ Davis stands up right in front of him. He spun the opposite way to the baseline, went left hand off the glass.
Great move.
I don't think he's missed with that little left hand bunny yet. I mean, you look at what he's done. By the way, ONU women win in double overtime, 75-70 over Otterbein.
Good news from Westerville for Ohio Northern as the women post the victory.
CJ Napier's 10 of 22 in the ball game. He's 0 for 7 from 3. He's got 13 rebounds. That means he's 10 of 17 from the field inside. 22 points, 13 rebounds to go along with Adam Scott, who's got 16 and 7. Michael Berner's got 7 points, 8 rebounds. But right now, what's your best play? You're going to try to force something from half court if you're Northern defensively. It's a double bonus if there's any kind of foul, but I would think Northern's not going to let anything come past half court. They're also not going to trail on the other side.
Brennan Raines, number 12, into the lineup. Heckman's going to throw it in. They're going to do the double toss. There it is. At the buzzer.
No, this is going to be fascinating because on that, this is going to get replayed. I would be
hang on,
surprised because on that double toss, the clock started. I don't know if we have a good look at this, but on the toss where Brennan Raines came out of bounds, the clock, it was a 1.2, right? So it was 0.7 seconds that came off when Raines got the basketball.
And the clock should not move on that pass in bounds. That's an old University of Dayton Donaher play. And, if you get a chance,
You can see the score on the top right there. It starts. It's at 1.2 right at that second there. It's at 0.7 when he rears back to throw. I mean, it's
obvious.
It's an obvious thing. Now Northern is celebrating, but that was a kind of a curious take on how would we review this, and I'll get both coaches to talk about this.
They're going to explain this, and we can listen in.
The throw-in ends when the clock is running. So the throw-in itself on the catch never happens because the time had expired, is what the official just said. As the explanation is that the shooting of the basketball,
no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what.
And
oh, this is fun.
Boy, we got a great view of this one, Michael.
How about Neil Young won, and he just chucked his clipboard? Now, Coach Winter's declaration here is that the clock should not have run because the ball was still out of bounds. The official is telling him once the ball was caught that the clock starts.
And it alters where Evans takes the shot. He took it at half court because he looked up and saw the clock with 0.7, I believe, or less.
It was a 0.7.
And he could have taken another dribble, which would have put him a little bit closer.
It's an interesting thing because you don't know that it necessarily matters.
I don't know how you can assume that, well, I don't know how they can make that assumption, but it's very interesting to sit and listen to it. We're right here by it. I mean,
you can see.
Can we give him the mic?
And you can see, here's the replay of it again. Now watch, it's at 1.2 seconds at this point. Now at this point, it's at 0.7. You see it stopped right on the clock, and it's, I think it's right around 0.2 or 0.3 right there when he launched it.
Yeah.
The shot wasn't close.
And Coach Winters told the official what they were going to do. He indicated to him right before they gave the ball to the players that what they were going to do.
I just found it the most amusing watching this again from where we're sitting at, that Coach Young has been sort of in and out of this, and they've just pointed out to Coach Young that we have a replay of it, and he kind of gently shooed his assistant away of, I don't care. So the game is officially over.
There it is, 73-71. What a finish. I'm going to go interview the coach.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what he says. I can't wait till he gets a look at it. 73-71, Ohio Northern with the win. The Polar Bears outscore Otterbein by a 7-5 margin in the overtime period. And you got to see a little bit of the hilarity of kind of what happened. ONU women win 75-70 in their ball game on the road in double overtime. And I am glad that my name is not Chris Nelson, Scott Seville, or Clay Ehrman, because they have had a heck of a time, as it is loud in this building. And Coach Young making his way over to tell Dave exactly what he thought about that.
Here at Ohio Northern, Polar Bears come up with a big overtime win, 73-71. Can you take us through the final call there, just so everybody at home knows exactly what happened?
So basically, there was some controversy about did the clock start early or not. I don't know the answer to that question. The officials were saying there's no way to review it because we don't have a monitor situation here, and so we just basically have to, because they didn't kill the game before the time expired. They can't just go back and put time on the clock. I'm not even positive it did start early. I don't know. There was only 1.2 left. So all I know is we got a hard-fought OAC conference win tonight, and our guys deserved it.
There were a lot of clutch plays by your team. Adam Scott hitting a big three, and you just go on. And, of course, the game winner down here by CJ. On that play, was that it all the way?
Yeah, I mean, you got a chance to win a game, you're going to give it to your guy, right? And we're going to ride or die with CJ taking that shot. He's been taking that shot for 4 years, and he put it in. Yeah.
Second chance points. Your team had a very large edge against Otterbein. What do you attribute that to?
I mean, our guys just wanted it. You know what I mean? Like, this is a game this was a respect game for us, you know, and our guys battled. And I thought, you know, we intentionally played big today. This is one of the few teams we can have a size advantage on. So we tried to go big as much as we could, and that paid off for us in those buckets.
What were the emotions that you had during the end of both regulation and the overtime? What were you feeling, Coach?
I was having fun. I was having a blast. I mean, this is why you do it, right? If you're not going to enjoy an overtime conference game where both teams are playing like that, you should do something else. So I was loving it. I was having a great time. We were competing. My guys were playing hard. It was great.
What'd you like best about what happened tonight here for your squad?
That Ohio Northern won the game. That's my favorite thing that happened tonight. But also, too, I'm being a little facetious, but the way we won the game, right? Like, there were a lot of times when we could have just kind of packed it in. You know what I mean? Like, those 2 free throws, like, late, like, in the timeout before overtime, like, our guys were ready. They were excited about more basketball, you know, and that's not everybody. You know, they wanted this game. They fought. They did a great job in the zone. And so, yeah, I'm just proud of our guys. I'm happy for them. I don't think our seniors have ever beat Otterbein. And so this is a big win for them.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach.
Appreciate
Enjoy
it.
the win.
Appreciate it.
Ohio Northern with a 73-71 win in overtime here at the Ohio Northern University Sports Center. We'll be back with more as you're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Nareda Lanes in Ada offers men's league bowls on Mondays and Wednesday evenings, women's league bowls on Thursday evenings, couples bowls on Friday evenings, kids bowl on Saturday mornings from December through March, Scotch mixed double bowls on the last Saturday of every month, open bowling on Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon reserve the bowling alley for children's birthday parties, and on Sunday, lanes are available to reserve for birthdays of any age as well as for group events. Check out NaredaLanes.com for more info.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
Orthopedic Center is focused on a personalized, caring approach to treat all aspects of orthopedics, including total joint replacement, shoulder reconstruction, stem cell injections, and more. Dr. James Kemmler and Jed Cooney, certified PA, are dedicated to providing the best orthopedic care in the Grand Lake region. Kemmler Orthopedic Center has offices located in Salina and Van Wert, along with extended evening hours. To schedule an appointment, call our office at 419-586-5760.
Ohio Northern takes the overtime victory over Otterbein, 73-71. Head coach Neil Young, he loved the way his team won. Of course, it's always nice to win, but he loved the manner in which his team won. The second chance points, the big stops and the big plays that they made coming down the stretch, which, as you know, Michael, we've seen them play just enough. This is the kind of game you're hoping that for Ohio Northern's sake, this is going to propel them into positive things here in the second half, because, Otterbein's going to face a lot of the teams that are at the topper echelon of the OAC in the coming weeks. So definitely a big win for Ohio Northern. It was kind of neat that he said, well, the seniors have never beaten Otterbein. So
they have now.
They have now. That's correct.
Just wait until these teams meet again at Otterbein on February the 1st.
I have never been in my life in doing games, and I've been doing them a decade or two, I've never seen a conversation at center court like that and being able to listen in. We could have given them almost the microphone, but I wasn't going to tell them we had a replay on it.
Well, like I said, the one assistant came over and he asked Coach Young, do you want to see it? And he just told him to go away. He said, I don't need to see it. But I love what he said in the interview. He said, if this is not the kind of game for you, I don't know why you're here. This is the kind of game we want to win. This is the kind of game our program needs to win, that these guys need to win. Like you said, they hadn't beaten them. They lost 4 straight in the series, but that's all gone now. But the manner in which you get there, I had a couple of people after I tweeted the final score. I said something crazy happened. They said, what's the Cliff Notes version? I said, I don't even know how I would begin to tell you that.
It's quite a finish in both of them, at regulation and then in overtime. Overtime is one of the wildest finishes I've ever seen.
And then coupled with the fact that the women win by 5 in double overtime. I mean, you look at that. There's almost 140 shots in this game. 52 rebounds for Northern, and they couple that with a 44-28 advantage on points in the paint. Second chance points, they ran away. And right now, that's kind of a difference maker for me, is 24-5 in second chance points. It's just, I can only imagine, bench points there's only 20 total between the two teams. I can only imagine how exhausted the starters in this game are.
Yeah, look at that, 52-35 are Wagner's IGA final stats as you take a look at that. Incredible advantage there for Ohio Northern in the rebounding category. And like you said, the number of shots. There's a lot of shots going up tonight.
This is all right. We're going to go to work today. We're going to see 140 shots. And you might see half of those in this. But, I mean, there are big moments all throughout this game. Remember, Northern jumped out in their first possession. They scored on their first handful. Landon Long got those baskets. Will Miller made it 7-2. It was C.J. Napier went nuts in the first half. But Northern had to come back, use the free throw line, tie the game at 22. At one point, we were even at halftime at 41. It looked like there were different guys that were going to take over this ball game. Julian Heckman hit maybe the biggest shot he's hit as a freshman this year, tied it at 71 with 23 seconds. But if you're Northern, you look at it, you hold Cam Evans right about his average, 21, 22 points a game. Some things to work on before Saturday when you go to John Carroll and take on the 14th ranked Blue Streaks up at the Cleveland area. But some good things here at home, and it's just the second time this year they've won here in Ada.
And that's just has to be huge for the morale of the squad to pick up a win here over a very solid Otterbein team, that's for sure.
I'm still just trying to figure out the last 5 minutes.
I think we'll be thinking about that for a long time. I'd like to thank the folks that brought us this game, and can't say enough about them. Tonight's game brought to you by John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapeno's Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games, and NKTelco, our scoreboard sponsor, John and Tony's. Additional sponsors, Whatever Cards and Games, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, and Jalapeno's Mexican Grill with locations in Ada and Shawnee, Northwest Ohio Liquidations, and Holiday Inn Express in Wapakoneta. I'd like to thank our crew here tonight on the cameras, Mark Fissel, Paul Downing, and Kurt Kuffner. Our assistant director tonight, Jeff Henchen, and our director, Scott Robinson. Northern wins it 73-72 in overtime. I'm Dave Helmstetter. With me tonight, Michael Hearn, and you have been watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.